Back. In this video we'll answer the following questions, and let us start. The first one says the mutant myeloma cells used in step 2 are myeloma cells with a gene mutation here, right? The step 2 myeloma cells cannot grow in a culture medium containing HAT. Okay, this one have a gene mutation that prevents them from growing in a culture medium containing these ones. Okay, HAT. So why can't they grow in culture medium containing HAT? Why? So we can answer that question. We know that mutant myeloma cells of step 2, they have a gene mutation which can't grow in this one. But why? Maybe because you know that in a culture medium, okay, in a culture medium normally what we have is this medium normally need to be metabolizing. Need to be metabolized. Anything which was here need to be taken in a positive way with the cells we enter here. Okay, so whatever thing, if there was water here, then the water is positive for the cell. But if there's plain water here, the cells can burst also. So everything has to be regulated in such a way that it's the best medium for the given cells. Okay. So if this HAT with the gene mutation cannot grow, if it is present, the cells won't grow. Then it's probably because this one they cannot, the cells can't deal now this is a fancy language, can't deal with HAT. Okay, this is a fancy language, but then in biological language you will say the cell can't metabolize. Now you know, if the cell can't deal with this, what will this do to cell? It will screw the cell up. So HAT screws HAT inhibits the cell. It kills or inhibits the cell. Okay. So I guess you got the point, right? Then explain why the mutant myeloma cells can grow in a culture medium containing HAT after they have been fused with mouse spleen cells. Now we have to say the reasons why mutant myeloma cells, this one, can grow in a culture medium containing HAT after they have been fused with mouse. Now maybe this is another version. Okay, it says their mouse spleen can metabolize HAT, and because they have suitable enzymes. Okay, so when can grow in a culture containing HAT after they have been fused with mouse spleen. Okay, so when there is when the cell itself can't deal with the HAT, but the cell and the mouse spleen can deal with the HAT because the mouse spleen can metabolize. Okay, so you say the mouse spleen. So you start saying that the mouse spleen, okay, mouse spleen can metabolize. Mouse spleen can metabolize, and in this case the number 2 will be, hence the cell does not inhibit. Okay, and how can it metabolize? It has the suitable enzymes, right? Now from this we can learn one thing, okay? Suitable enzyme. For general answering of this kind of questions, if we have a cell, even we have a cell here, okay, this is a cell, okay, and then we have a medium around it. Let's say this is the let me just draw this thing now, and then let me just do this. Okay, we have a medium around it. Okay, now if this cell, now let's say we have two cases of such kind. We have two cases of such kind, and then we have another case here, right? There are two cases, and let's say this one is not there. Let's just remove this from here. Okay, we use this one. So let's say we have two cases. Now the first one among the two, this one A, have got enzymes to metabolize this, okay? So they are safe, so they are automatically safe. I mean, they're in safe side. Okay, and then we have another one, this one with no enzyme, okay? Now this with no enzyme, to deal with this means what? Means inhibits. Okay? So this is the idea I want you to get from what we just did over here. Now we have to suggest why growing the fused cell in a culture containing HAT is an important part of the procedure shown in 3.1. In fused cells are grown in a culture medium containing HAT. Okay. This is important because only the fused cells remain, while the unfused cells all are removed. Okay, so this is the importance of this, I guess. So the only fused cells survive. You see, this is the question. Identify cells to be cloned, fused cells. Okay, so only the fused cell survives, and so other old cells die off. And in this case, this is a method of identification, and it's the same method which is used in resistance identification in the gene technology. Then the last question says, suggest advantages, and this is a very common question. Suggest advantages of using monoclonal antibodies for pregnancy testing. Advantages, okay, let us just see and then figure out more points ourselves. Okay, there is this, which is very affordable. After all, this method is cheap. You must think, there is a lot of things kept inside. We have to get the cancer cells, we have to get the plasma cells, and then a lot of things happen. But then you're forgetting, if you think in such a way, then you're forgetting that it's cheap, because once you get your one antibody, monoclonal antibody, and you can clone it to get you billions of liters, okay, like a lot of liters of the antibodies. I mean, a lot of antibodies we can get, okay, from this single cell. I mean, the single cell we get over here, this can be sent like this, and from this we can get a clone of cells, very large amount, okay. So it's very cheap, because after all, you can produce as much as you want, okay, and results produced quickly. It's quicker. The cloning can take place quickly than compared to other methods of producing antibodies. We may not consider them now here, but then we just should know that there are other methods also to produce antibodies, and this is much quicker than those ones. And then result likely to be accurate. Now, since we are dealing with the same antigen, and we are dealing with the same antibody, and we are not making up ourselves anything, it's just natural things, the results are more likely to be accurate. There is no artificiality in this. There is somehow the human efforts and the techniques, but then most of the things we don't change any DNA or anything. It's just this. It's the natural thing itself going on and producing the hybridoma cell. So the results are likely to be accurate. Then can be done early. Okay, and can be done at home. It can be done at home. Now, there's one thing you should know, that we're not talking about the production. Sorry, I just mixed up. I thought we were talking about the production. In this case, we're talking about the advantages of using monoclonal antibodies for pregnancy. So we just have to be specific to pregnancy. We should not be considering the 100 liters thing. But then I guess even that helped. It's just a knowledge. So you understood something, that why is this method more useful. Anyway, for pregnancy it's more useful because we said it's cheap. Yeah, this is the point. It can apply over there also. Then result produced quickly. Okay, you can have your pregnancy cheap. I mean the pregnancy test. If you go to a doctor and tell him that I want to check for my pregnancy, we'll keep ultrasounds and all those. It will take a lot of time. Unlike this one, just you can do it at home. Okay, it's easy to use. Can be done at home. The results are quick. It is cheaper. It is accurate and can be done early in pregnancy. So and it is safe to use. So if you wanna get the point in your brain, you can say that for pregnancy. So for pregnancy, go for monoclonal antibodies, right? Antibodies. Why should you do that? Why should you do that? We can see the reasons here. Let us just see. The reason for that. The reasons for doing such a thing is because number one, it is cheap. Okay, it is cheap. It can be done at home. Okay, we said you can draw your home here to understand this point more clearly. And it can be done at home. You can have your 500 shilling note here, and you can 5,000 shilling notes. Okay, you can get for 5,000. Then this is just a method to actually remember, because we'll face this question in more than one paper. So I'm just trying to make it accurate. It's safer. Okay, safe. No injections here. No injections like this. Okay, we don't have any injections over here. No injections here. Okay, and then the other point will be it is quick. So if you want to consider your time factor, okay, it's very quick. And then we can go on to continue other points, such as it's accurate. Okay, so accurate, it gives us the answer always. Correct, accurate. Okay, and then can be done early. can be done early, early method. Okay, so when the mother, when the womb is still, I mean, you know, the child is still very small, this can be done. Okay, so that's just the thing, and we will continue the next video, the next question in the next video. Thank you for listening.